Hey folks, welcome to Mortgage Minute for the week of March 10th. Lots happening, so as always. First of all, I just want to say I'm really excited to announce that after a 5-year hiatus, I've re-partnered with Dominion Lending. We got a new website out, peterkinchmortgages.com. And also with that, a brand new mortgage calculator application that you can download on your mobile phone. Just send me an email if you'd like a link to that. In the news, of course, the Bank of Canada made its rate announcement today. But before I get into that, I just want to go back a little bit. It's interesting. If we go back to May of last year, CMHC boss Evan Siddall came out and suggested or predicted that with the second wave of COVID, we could see home sales and home prices in Canada drop by as much as 9 to 18%. This put shockwaves through the market. This last week, he's basically came out and said, apologize, a little off the mark, especially as Toronto and Vancouver home prices soar amidst the pandemic. Absolutely crazy. We're seeing so much activity. Oh, and we could go on and on about why that's happening. That's almost a different topic. But I want to shift to interest rates because, as I said earlier, the Bank of Canada did come out and announce that they're making no change to their prime lending, their overnight lending rate. Now, please understand, this impacts your prime interest rate. So if you're getting a variable rate mortgage, there's no change to the prime. What's really interesting is the Bank of Canada is going to try to target a 2% inflation. They always do that. They look and they say, well, if inflation is below 2%, then they want to keep interest rates low to stimulate the economy. If the inflation goes over 2%, then of course we could see a rise. They could raise interest rates to slow it down. I don't see how we're going to see inflation go over 2% unless we look at things like housing prices in isolation. The other thing is they're going to continue to buy bonds, and the quantitative easing program, which is a way to stimulate the economy, it's currently at a rate of $4 billion a week. One has to ask if that's sustainable. So we're going to watch that. The next rate announcement, by the way, is April 21st. If you want to write that down, April 21st will be your next rate announcement. In the meantime, this is a topic that always creates a lot of confusion for consumers because you see the Bank of Canada made no rate change, but you might see Royal Bank or TD or Scotia raise rates tomorrow. We saw rates go up last night. So how is that possible, Pete? You say that the Bank of Canada makes no change, yet rates went up last night. How's that possible? Well, again, your variable rates is based on the prime. The prime rate is based on the overnight lending rate by the Bank of Canada. So there's no change to prime. But your long-term fixed rates are influenced by bond yields. And here's an article that said central bankers are grappling around the world with a sharp rise in bond yields. There's been a massive sell-off in bonds in the bond market. So this is really fascinating subtext, sub-story. And again, without getting too complicated, here's a kind of a chart that was on Global News today. Michael Campbell was talking about record mortgage borrowing in 2020. But if you look at this, the 5-year government Canadian bond was 0.39% as of January, okay, in January. Today, it's at 0.73. That is basically a doubling of the bond yield. Now remember, banks choose and pick the 5-year or your 3-year, 5-year, 10-year fixed rate mortgages based on a spread with bond yields. So as bond yields go up, they have to increase their 5-year fixed rates. And that's why you're seeing a slight rise in the marketplace currently of the 5-year fixed rate mortgages, while at the same time the Bank of Canada is making no change on the prime. Confusing? I know. If you're in the market, please send me an email, give me a call. There's lots to discuss whether to take fixed or variable. Today is a marketplace where you need advice. So just want to share a little bit of that with you today. We're going to stay on top of this because it's going to be an ongoing story. And again, April 21st is the next announcement from the Bank of Canada. So stay tuned. We'll keep you in the know. Thanks and have a great week.